Hello and welcome to another edition of The Hard Way. So in today's video we're going to be discussing the rooftop tent and the box. Again, I want to talk a little bit about the processes of fabrication that I'm going to be using in order to form the carbon fiber composite materials that are going to be used to create the rooftop tent and the box. Okay, because there are more than one process and some of them are more difficult than others. Some of them have more benefits than others, and I want to pass it by you guys in a way, because I still haven't made fully my mind up into which processes I'm going to be using to make these products. So yeah, where do we start? Well, okay, so first of all, we need to ask this question. What do we need out of the rooftop tent and this box? So both of these boxes, both of these products are going to be used on the outside of the vehicle. So they need to be tough. The rooftop tent is going to be put to the top of the car. And I don't know if you know about torsional rigidity, but it needs to be pretty tough in order, because no matter how rigid a car is, when a car goes over a bump, it sort of twists, okay? And if you've got the rooftop tent firmly on top of the car, of course, this rooftop tent is going to need to bend. So those are some of the characteristics that we're going to need from this particular material. Also, of course, it's going to be exposed to the elements. It's going to be exposed to rain, dust, really hot weathers through the desert as well. When we sleep inside it, we're going to have to be comfortable. So it needs to be able to refract light. We don't want it to get hot inside. We don't want it to get hot on the outside too, because we're going to be putting solar panels on the top of the roof. If you're putting solar panels on the top of the roof, the last thing you want it to do is to get hot. You don't want it attracting heat. So we need to find a way of trying to keep the solar panels cool, even though it's going to be out in the hot weather, baking basically 24 hours a day for as many months that we are going to be away for. We want to get peak efficiency, peak usage out of every component that we use on the car. And if there's little things that we can do, remember, those little things will compound, and as the miles go on, they will compound more and more and more, and it will save us immensely over the long run. So those are the things that we need to consider. So carbon fiber for me is just the perfect material. Why? Because I know I can. It's relatively easy to sculpt. It's relatively accessible. You know, I can order it online. I can order all the materials online. There are lots of ways to find out how you can use it, how you can improve the processes of fabrication. All I have to do is listen, learn, and apply. So that's where we are at now. We know what we want to do. We know we want to use carbon fiber. What's important now is the type of process we're going to use. So that's what we're going to speak about right now. So the first and possibly the most easiest process of fabricating these materials is the wet lay process. Okay, so this is a process of layering, and then you're allowing the you're allowing the carbon fiber sandwich to sandwich of sandwich of the resins and also the carbon fiber layers to be put together, laid out like you're painting wallpaper, and you're just layering it on top, the next layer, and then you put more of the epoxy resin all over the material, and then you layer it again, and you do it to your heart's content. It depends on whatever you are producing and its application. So I really like this process because it's extremely easy. However, it's not going to give us the maximum in weight savings, and it's also not going to give us the best characteristics. I don't think it will look the best either. Now, I'm not bothered totally about aesthetics, but if we're going to be doing this right, let's just do it right the first time, right? There's no point in excuse me, oh my goodness, I'm dying here. There's no point in doing things by halves. However, this process is by far the cheapest process, by far. Okay, so because I don't need many of the utilities that you're going to hear in these next processes. Okay, so what is the next process? That is vacuum bag. The vacuum bagging process basically is doing the same thing that we did in the last one, but allowing it to, but then we use a vacuum bag to apply more pressure to the surfaces of these materials. And the more pressure you put on, of course, the harder the material is going to be, which means the less materials you're going to need to use as well. You need less resin as well, which makes the product harder, and it also makes it lighter. Okay, so those are the best characteristics you want. You want it lighter and harder. So we are going to need a few more appliances, a few more processes, a few more steps. So we need to vacuum bag this, the whole of the rooftop tent or the box or whatever we're going to be using, the component. We need to vacuum bag it, and then we need to vacuum all the air out of it, and then allow the process to take the next step. Basically, once that vacuum bagging is done, you can, well, not even whilst it's working, basically, you're either going to allow it to dry at room temperature, which I don't think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to use an accelerated process of curing the actual material, so which will give us the best characteristics, basically. So that's the second one. The third one is Infusion. Now this one is the one which is, it's a little, I don't know. I'm a little intimidated by this process, because this is what like big manufacturers use. They use this way of creating their carbon fiber products. Now, Infusion is, we're going to need a few more things. Basically, we are going to need a mold. So we need to create a mold before we even start with the process of making the carbon fiber product. So we need to literally make two products. We need to make the mold, and then we need to make the carbon fiber product. So this one is not easy. It's not easy because making this mold is not going to be easy. However, I think it would benefit me in the long run, because I think that you are able to create a lot more intricate shapes using this process. And I think we're going to need to do that, not for the box, but definitely for the rooftop tent. We might be able to get away with using other processes for the rooftop tent. Definitely for the box. Definitely for the box. But for the rooftop tent, aerodynamics are extremely important. We're going to be living inside of this cube as well. So it's really important we get this correctly. We're going to be driving on the road. We don't want it to change the characteristics of the driving of the car. So it's really important that the aerodynamics, we think about that. We don't want loads of wind noise. We want refinement. It's the whole point of getting a nice new car in the first place. So we don't want that ruined by the rooftop tent. It's going to be ruined to a certain degree anyway. And also, we've got to think about fuel efficiency. It's going to make a difference no matter what. But making sure that the rooftop tent is aerodynamically efficient enough for us to drive around Africa without killing our fuel is the most important thing. And because I'm hand creating this, we have a chance to start from the beginning and really think about the way we want this to be done. Okay, so those are the three processes. Those are the three processes that I'm going to have to consider. Now, I think I've already made my mind up about the box. I think I'm just going to wet lay the box, because it's just easy for me to get started with something, you know, and I can do it at home. I don't have to get a shop. I don't have to rent a place out in order to do it. I can do it at home. So I think I'm going to be starting there. So I'm going to start designing the box and just go for it, see what I can do. As for the rooftop tent, I'm thinking about either vacuum bagging or Infusion, one or the other. Okay, so I'm going to have to take it from there. I genuinely don't know. I think I'm just going to go for it and go for Infusion, because that will just give me the best characteristics. It'll give me everything that a rooftop tent would need, only better, you know. So yeah, guys, that's where I'm at with that. It's looking good. Everything is looking good. I've focused now also on the cars that we're looking to get as well. So I've posted another video on the other channel, Overland Fam, so you can take a look at that. It's up. It's uploading as we speak. So take a look at that. And yeah, I'm going to get back to you tomorrow. I'm going to learn more about what processes needs to be taken in order to create carbon fiber composite materials, and hopefully, guys, you can learn something out of it. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.